Live. Let's see. If we're watching this on replay, I'm trying to get to my chat log. If I can. How's everybody doing? Nobody's in here yet. It's time to fix my eyebrow. Hey, two viewers. Let's see a second. Who's in here? Nobody said hello yet. I see two of y'all watching. There it goes. Hey, Claire Jane. I've missed you too, Claire Jane. Hey, Scott Balo. How are you feeling? I heard you were sick. Oh. I know I couldn't see it for a second. It was like on a delay. Sorry, Scott Bailiff. It just wasn't showing anything for a minute. So how have y'all been doing? I only have 3 viewers right now. You'll be better tomorrow. I felt a bit sick. I didn't feel like I wasn't sneezing or anything like that, but like all my lymph nodes like swole up in my neck. But I went and got steroids, so but that's usually how I get sick. I don't know. How are you feeling, Claire Jane? How's your pregnancy going? See if I can get Svetlana's attention. Hey, James Johnson. You've been sick? Oh, I'm sorry. I've had swollen like lymph nodes in my neck, but they're finally starting to go down. Wasn't feeling very good for a few days. Hey, alone one. Missed you. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean, Scott Bailiff. I'm trying to get my email to open up. Let's see. See if I can get it. Hey, Pylon. There it goes. All right. Try to see if I can get Svetlana on here. So I'm really good, thank you. Pregnancy isn't too bad. She'll be here in just 10 weeks. Yeah, I'm all right. You know, I've been meditating a lot. I've changed my diet around, of course, trying to feel better. I don't know, it's going okay. I've been like not speaking a lot. Scott Baylor said he hasn't eaten much in 3 days. Yeah, that stuff, you know, sometimes when you get sick, it's like that. My job's been going okay. We got our butts kicked tonight, but you know. Oh, Claire Jane says she's got to move to another city tomorrow. It sucks. I wish you could just come to the US. Come live in the South with me. Feed you some grits and stuff. I don't know. Has anybody heard from Svetlana? Yeah, Scott, I remember there were some girls that I knew that I came across that had that issue. And it's always really rough. We used to take care of them and stuff, and they would come in trying to get off all that. My brother had problems with it too, but I tried to send her an invite, but Scott Balo's feeling too sick. I don't know. My husband and I, like, lately have been talking a lot about, like, what if all of this is like some kind of like psyop, like something to identify people. Let's see. I know I just get worried about stuff like that every once in a while. Oh, Scott Balo. I'm sorry. You're sticking with the game theory. Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. I don't know. It makes me worried. But it's a shit game. I agree. It's just like, I just feel like all I do is like wake up and shower and go to work. And it's the same. I feel like I'm in a hamster wheel and it just keeps going and going and going. No, I want you to arrest Scott Balo, poor thing. I haven't really been watching a lot of YouTube. I did find this guy though. Let me see if I can find his channel. Ooh, I'm looking kind of pixelated, but that's okay. Maybe we're supposed to fix it. Maybe. I think his name is Sovereign Humanoid 33. I think that's right. Same rubbish, different day. Claire Jane says, yeah. But um, something interesting's happened with us. Um, we may be coming into like a little bit of money, which could help pay off. We're going to pay off like all of our credit cards. That'll free us up to do something quicker. So that's good. And we got the floor. Joe got the whole floor done in the kitchen and laundry room. So all the front room's done. Now we're starting on the cabinets. Alone One says at first the Mandela effect made things a bit exciting, but now that the new is worn off, life seems to have lost its flavor. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think because we're shifting constantly, we're just shifting all the time. Claire Jane says they do say life is what we make it. I believe that. We're constantly shifting, I think, from my experience. In my reality, this is the way it works. And as long as you keep striving for the happiness, I think that, you can carve yourself out a little bit. I mean, there's always going to be like a duality to life. There's always going to be good and bad, but I don't know. I'm finding that if I really just try to focus, and try to be thankful and see my cup is half full. I mean, it could be worse. I've been in worse situations than this. So I don't know. I'm coming from a different place because, I mean, I've been in prison and so I know what that's like. And I'm just thankful that I'm free every day. And I think I look a little better. I think I haven't eaten all meat. Can you believe that? They say that meat is like the only thing that is hyperallergenic for you to eat, really. As long as it doesn't have a bunch of preservatives on it. So I've been eating and dark green vegetables are the only ones that are not don't have like potential allergens. So I've been eating meat and dark green vegetables lately. To go from like near vegan to this I feel better. So I go to a doctor in a month or so and we'll see if my numbers are better. Scott Balo says we might be dying every shift. Yeah. Scott says he rarely eats meat anymore, but I totally miss it. Yeah, I just was feeling bad, you know? So we'll see. It just seems like, I cut meat out of my life. And then, slowly but surely I just started developing all these allergies to stuff like tomatoes. That's recent. That's like within the past, what, like 2 years or something. But to become sensitive to all these different vegetables, I thought, well, maybe I just need to do something different. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not trying to be like a hypocrite or anything, but the only reason I was a vegetarian was trying to be healthy. And it's strange. You don't need to eat as much. I eat like the other day, I made a steak for me and Joe, and that's pretty much all we ate. We ate that, and we didn't even eat anything with it. But it takes your body longer to digest it, therefore, you just don't eat as much. Hey, Noble Misty, I sent you an invite if you want to come on and talk to me. But what do you think, Noble Misty? I think I look a little better. I think I look a little brighter. I don't know. Maybe not. I feel better. I feel like I at least have enough like vitamins and stuff. I take supplements still. Come on, nobleness. Oh, thank you, Scott Balo. He said, always look lovely. Hyland says, I don't eat as much as I should, but I find it hard to get the willingness to go downstairs and cook. I cook all the time. I do it for a living though. Now I found my happy. So I enjoy it. Like what we've been doing is I work doubles, and so in between my shifts I'll have a couple hours and I'll cook during that time during the middle of the day. And then when I get home I drink this stuff. It's like a ketone drink and it's got like 2,000 milligrams of potassium. So oh, oh, thank you, Noble Misty. The screen is all digital. It looks okay on my end. Oh, I love you, Misty. That's very nice. Just what to say to a girl. Claire Jane, you got to cook, baby, if you want to catch a man. You got to learn how to cook now. Pylon says, I found it easier to cook when my mom was still alive and living with me, but I don't know how to cook anymore. Oh, well, just cook for yourself. Just a little bit. Doesn't have to be special. I don't know. I've been praying a lot. I've been meditating a lot. I find myself saying like rosary and stuff, even though I know I'm not supposed to anymore. It's kind of comforting. I don't know. It was something that I knew, something that I believed would help. So Claire says she don't want a man. She's done with them. Who's going to cook the turkey, Scott? Are you going to cook the turkey? Hey, James. Alone one too many negative people create community of negativity. Seem to have a lot of that these days. Yeah. Ooh, Scott's gonna cook. He's a Renaissance man, y'all. I don't know what we're gonna do. I guess we'll have Joe's mom up here. She might be going to a friend's house. Who knows? I always cook for my team, though. That's usually make turkey and like macaroni or something. Ellen one says today I made a dried bean and vegetable soup, cornbread, and cinnamon bun cake. Hey, that sounds pretty good. I don't know. I'll be doing Thanksgiving, of course, but I don't know. Scott, how can you not sleep for days? Ooh, your brain feels wired. Violence is they. I wanted to get a turkey breast this past Thanksgiving, but they wanted over $10 for one boob. Claire said I didn't like my mother-in-law. I hated it when she came to yours. Yeah. Ooh, thanks, nobleness. Come on in. I know. Turkey boob. I do a turkey breast. And I'm telling you, what you do is you stick a thermometer in the thickest part of the breast, you butter it, you stuff it with like whatever you want, or you put like an apple or whatever in there. Onion, that's what I do. Put poultry seasoning all over it. And then I sear it in the oven at 500 degrees for 30 minutes. And then I lower the oven to, I think it's 375. And then once it hits 161, it's done. It doesn't take long. But yeah, you sit there and like cook it upside down at first, like sear it, flip it, sear the top, and then lower the oven. It's fast. It's good. Ooh, ginger ale? That sounds good. Pylon, you got a hungry man turkey dinner. Hey, nobleness. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How you doing?
Not too bad, I guess.
What you
Been
what
late.
you been up?
Not much. Actually, you know what? Something funny that happened my YouTube channel. Like, I haven't done a video. It turns out for like 8 months, I haven't even done a video. And there was a period that I probably went 3 months or 4 months without doing a video at one point. And one of my videos just took off, or started to anyway. I don't know if it
Which
will
one is
continue
it?
to, but it's not a Mandela video. It's which makes sense, you know. A Mandela video is not going to take off on its own. John Todd. Have you ever seen any John Todd stuff?
I don't know.
He's like a ex Illuminati whistleblower from the 80s, maybe 70s, no 80s, something like that.
Hmm. I don't know.
It's interesting. He was very, yeah, he's worth watching. He they ended up throwing him in jail eventually, and then like I think they set him up for some sexual misconduct or something of some sort with a woman. And
Yeah.
then they got him after his prison release. They put him in an insane asylum. And then he died in, I think, 2008, maybe.
Oh,
So they weren't happy with him.
he told too much.
He, oh, he was pretty high up, apparently, if his story's true. Seems to be. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems pretty credible. He used to throw
Hmm.
around a lot of millions of dollars to different. He talked a bit about different churches and stuff, how they got corrupted and all kinds of things. But anyway, I find it funny that it took off after this YouTube outage, right? So they updated their systems and then something changed. And for whatever reason, this video is getting promoted. Assumingly, I mean, there are other possibilities. Like it just ended up becoming my most popular video eventually, like in the moment. So it got
Yeah.
more promotion. So YouTube may do that too, right? And it might have taken 8 months for that to take effect, for everything else to die off. But I don't know. It really looks like it since the YouTube outage that all of a sudden this video took off. And I mean, like, it took off quite a bit. I had like 10,000 views in months and months and months, and now I just got like 20,000 more views in a week. So that's odd.
What? Do you think somebody made
Yeah,
reference to it in a video?
who knows? Yeah, that's the other possibility, of course. Like in the public, they're all of a sudden searching for John Todd. It's like a little wave of whatever. So that's a very good point.
Yeah. Or I mean somebody could have used a clip and like put a link to your channel. Who knows?
Maybe. I don't know. Like I just have a copy of it. I kind of lucked out too because I put it in two parts, and part two would not get monetized. Like it's see, they can't claim copyright because it's his voice. He's dead. He's dead. Like what are they going to do? They can't copyright him. So the part two never got approved for appropriate content for advertising, but part one did, which is better to have part one because more often, your part one's going to get bigger numbers, and part one's the one doing pretty good. But like
Yeah.
the last 2 days, I made like $27 each day off of one freaking video. That's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah. I hope it'd be cool if it kept up for a month. That would add up, but it won't. It's already
Yeah.
started calming down a little bit.
So what you have like
I
ad
don't make any
revenue on
money.
your channel?
Yeah, but I don't make any money off it. I mean, even in the 8 months I haven't done anything, it might add up to 20 or $30 a month.
Yeah.
So you got to wait 3 months for them to even send it. The 100 you have to have $100 for them to even send it to you or
Oh,
deposit it in your account. So yeah, like no, I don't make any money off of it to speak of, right? But
yeah.
when I was a bit busier, like when I first put on ads, because I never always had on ads, I just put them on and then I try to stay busy with it for a few months, maybe.
Yeah.
I could probably make 100. It all depends if a video takes off or not. Like, I mean, there's a big difference. It's a difference of having a 5 to 10,000 view video or a video that will hit 60 to 80,000, right? I mean, that's a big difference. If you can get a hot video, which I've had like 4 or 5 hot video, what I call a hot video for Mandela, anyway.
Yeah.
But if I worked at it, I will get at least $100 a month, and then maybe $200 a month, right? If I worked at it. So I mean, that's no money. That's if I did like 2 videos a week or something.
No.
That's not any money. It's a little pocket change, but
Yeah, it's a credit card bill every month.
I don't do credit cards.
You don't do
Never
credit
have.
cards.
I refused. No, I cursed
Mm.
them since I was a kid.
Really?
I did do a student loan. I got screwed, like not screwed, but I got pretty heavy on the student loan. And then it came back around on me eventually, and I had to pay it like, I think when they found me, I had to start paying like $600 a month.
Oh,
Mm.
Well, you didn't like
I say
defer it?
had to. But
You didn't just
no,
defer it?
I say had to. I didn't really realize I could have just argued better, but
Yeah.
I didn't really know. I didn't understand collection aid. I know the world a lot better now than I did when I was like 23.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could have got the payments lower, no doubt. I mean, that's like child support thing. I shouldn't
Yeah.
speak of this because my circumstance is different. It isn't normal child support. I had a daughter that was born like half a country away, and the grandmother got her, and I didn't approve of it. I wasn't happy because I didn't get her. I mean, whatever. It's a long story. So it's not typical child support. In fact, it's nowhere near typical. It was $100 a month because I was really young at the time. So I don't know. The judge, he just do weird shit. Judge is like,
Yeah.
well, all right, well, you pay $100 a month. It's like, what does that even mean, right? It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't even make sense. But they just put that on me, and then it held true for the rest of the years that the grandmother was raising her. But I never paid it. I wasn't going to. I'm like, there's no way I'm not giving you a damn cent because it wasn't going to my daughter. It was going to the grandmother. I guess you could say it's supposed to be for my daughter, but whatever. What is $100 a month anyway, right?
Yeah.
But it
Was she
was the purpose of the
neglectful?
matter.
Was she neglectful towards your daughter?
No, no, she was pretty good as far as I know. Actually, I can't be all
Yeah.
too mad about it. But I'm more
Yeah.
mad at the system than I am the grandmother.
Yeah.
The mother lost her due to kind of neglect um, type of circumstance.
She was just too young.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. That happens. My parents raised my brother's two kids. They just were not
Mhm.
in a good place. They were in and out of rehab and things like that. So, I mean,
Right.
I understand.
I was living with my parents going to college, so I wasn't in the position to raise a child. The
Yeah.
grandmother on welfare, she was in a better position apparently. Okay. Like you're lucky it's whatever 1999 and not 1899 because that ain't the way it'd be going down.
No, yeah.
I would have trotted halfway across the country and took my daughter, but can't do
Yeah.
that nowadays.
Yeah, if you could have just gotten a hold of her before y'all went to court, because possession is 9/10 of the law with child custody. Whoever has her,
Hmm.
has her.
Right. Yeah.
My husband and I split up one time and he wanted to visit the kids and he wanted them to visit. And I was like, not till we have an agreement,
Yeah.
because I mean you could drop them off and then he files and that's it.
Hmm.
But he wouldn't have done that, you know. But yeah, it can happen. My dad was an attorney
Hmm.
when I was growing up, so I always know all these stupid little legal things.
The whole system's bullshit
Yeah,
on
it's
every
all
level.
bullshit.
And then the family courts, that's just a whole nother level of bullshit of its own, right?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think that the family court system is designed to like get children away from their parents. I don't know.
It was designed to circumvent real law, is what it was designed for. And yes, to break up families is a big part of it.
Yeah, I really think
And
that.
push other agendas. They really pushed the female getting like freaking ridiculous deals, right? And now it's almost flipped. It's almost starting to flip back again, where sometimes they get nothing but, or very little. So I don't know. It's a retarded system.
Scott Baylor's asking, do
It's
you
all a
talk to
cult
her?
anyway.
Do you talk to your daughter?
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
he
do.
talks to her.
Yeah.
That's good.
Not a ton, but some.
Yeah.
I visit her. I did. I moved there. I moved up there when I got older. I lived in that city for a year, and whatever. I moved. I wasn't even living in my home part of the country for a decade.
Really?
Yeah, I moved back because of the Mandela effect. I thought the world might
Really?
come to an end.
Yeah.
I figure I should see some people.
Yeah, and see,
I haven't
that's
seen
the
anybody in
thing.
like a decade.
when we first started realizing that like something was wrong, like that reality was shifting, we thought that's what we thought,
Mm-hmm.
that the world was ending.
Well,
But that was
certainly
years
something to
ago.
consider.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess what, 2 years ago for you?
No, like years ago, like back before 2000.
You started seeing changes?
Yeah, just noticing that reality shifts. I mean, I've seen changes, but you talk yourself out of it for years and years. But something's
I
wrong.
guess.
You can't really put your finger on it. I didn't really understand what it really, really was until about 2012. And I realized that I wasn't the
Yeah.
only one, that other people experience it. I saw Fiona
Mm-hmm.
blog. I just came across it, like
Right.
through MySpace or something. And I
Hmm.
was like, shit, I'm not the only one who remembers Nelson Mandela dying. And then later I didn't really understand, like I didn't really understand that what a big phenomenon it had become, like how many people were really starting to like talk about it until about like 2014, I would say 2015. You started to see it, like people were really starting to talk about it.
Right. Yeah.
But like even for me, like Brian McFarlane's channel, it's for me, it's
Mm-hmm.
older than he says it is. Like he was making videos before he says he was. So I see stuff like that, like Scare Performance. I see repeats of his shows over and over and over again. I can hardly watch all the shit anymore. That's why I'll tune out every once in a while. I just can't stand it. You know, like if you've ever been watching something and you're just like, I know I've already seen this.
Sure. But what does that mean? You shouldn't assume anything. That's what I'm thinking. And
Yeah.
I know of different ways that that could be happening.
Well, what do you think it is? I mean, because I don't know.
There's different possibilities, but I think there's a couple of greater possibilities. One, it could be time replaying, essentially, like literally. So, but I don't even know if that's possible. In some ways, I don't think it is. That isn't where my strongest theory lays. I think we look at time wrong anyway, and we look at it from that science fiction movie perspective, which is probably a bunch of bullock. Whereas, so, if you go in the past and then you change something and blah, 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 or, if you rewind time and play it over again, then it can play through different. I don't think that is, quite honestly. The more I learn, the more I understand. It just would be a kind of a perspective for us, but that perspective would be wrong and very narrow-minded. I think everything just is, and everything's about the moment, and the moment can change the past, and the moment will, of course, affect the future. But the fact that the past happened doesn't mean it didn't happen. You can't make it not happen. It happened. You can just change it physically. There's a difference between physical and actually is.
Yeah.
Spiritually we are, right?
Right.
Physically and mentally we may be more stuck to a timeline scenario. Spiritually we are, right? You can't undo a memory spiritually. It ain't happening. You can ignore it. Maybe you can override it with a hypnosis type of way to so people don't realize it.
Yeah.
So all memories are always there. But that's really where I lean the most. And then, of course, there's the possibility that um, it's sort of a deja vu, so to
Yeah.
speak, right? So you either could have, just using your situation as an example, you could have dreamt it, and it's like it's going to happen again. So basically, you dreamt a bit of the future, or really what I think has been going on, my strongest sense, because of what I've had happen to me, and some other indicators that line up with a couple other people, but a couple other situations, is when things are done to trenches. It's not so simple. I
Yeah.
mean, I was calling it hypnosis. Psychic hypnosis is kind of a term I would use for it. It reminds me of a type of psychic hypnosis, but it's even greater than that. So because it's on the I should call it, put the word subconscious in. Subconscious psychic hypnosis. There we go. That's what it should be called because it's on a subconscious level. And because it's on a subconscious level, your subconscious, and I say subconscious loosely, your dream state, whatever that is, right? Something, some
Yeah.
greater state, spiritual awareness, let's say, your spiritual consciousness, maybe. I don't know, whatever. I don't know what term to use, but at that level, you can see, at least to some degree, the past and the future. And if you are given a command or tricked into doing something, like seeing Mandela effects in the future for you personally, like, oh, well, here's a video. Oh, well, here's a news article. Here's something that doesn't look right to me. You look ahead of time, see it, make up excuses for it in the now, make that in the as if it was the past, but really it's in the moment of outside of time. So then when you're awake again and you see something, you're like, oh yeah, well that was that way. I remember that because of such and such, right? Some bullshit fucking story. No, you made it up. Your subconscious, you literally made it up. You made up the excuse for some reason, right? Like you were given the demand or the command to do that. I don't know. But in what I'm trying to include is that this includes things in your future for yourself in particular. And for me, like it's not just regular Mandela effects that had happened to me. It's sort of weird, a couple of weird things. I mean, there was one that involved an island off of Cancun, a second main island off of Cancun. And no one's ever talked about it, but I found it and I looked into it, and looks weird that it looks like it's cut out the mainland, and no one else seems to know about it. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so no one's ever talked about this in the Mandela circles, right? So for me, I mean, maybe it would be a possible Mandela circumstance for me that I was looking into. And also, there was a girl that commented on my victory kiss photo video,
Yeah.
and I could probably find it, but she was saying, like, point by point, I have a memory of already reading this in, I think it was a men newspaper or something, particular one. She said, everything you're saying point by point is like, it's like I already heard about this, and it was in an article explaining, sort of legitimately mainstream the circumstances, right? But that's
Yeah.
been, for one, that's kind of ridiculous. But for two, she said, the weird thing is I don't read that freaking whatever newspaper magazine. Like I hate it. Maybe it was News Weekly or something, right? She's like, I don't even read that. I basically hate it. So none of it just didn't make sense to her. I tried to explain what I thought, but I think it went like way over her head. So
I'm still here. I don't
did it?
know.
Oh, okay, that's good.
But yeah, it's back. It's still
I get
broadcasting. It's
choked
just
when I explain
my
something in
computer's
depth like
out.
that. It's a proof. It was all for nothing. No, I'm joking.
Don't choke.
Anyway, were you able to follow what I was pointing out there? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Hey, candy cupcakes.
So you say you seen it before, but maybe, I mean, you did, but really it didn't happen yet, I guess would be one thing.
So
And
you're
in that
saying I'm seeing the
process,
future?
sure, everybody does. Everybody exists not within time on a spiritual level. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No different than angels, no different than demons, no different than anything spiritual. In your dream state, when you go to sleep, it's in your dream state that you convert short-term memory into long-term memory. Which one of the reasons I was smoking dope every damn day for like, well, actually, it wasn't the smoking dope. That it was only getting like 3 and 4 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah.
smoking dope, playing video games, and cutting my sleep right down. I wasn't getting proper sleep for years. I didn't get proper sleep. And it was probably aged me. Honestly, you would assume so. But I think that's one of the reasons why I never got, uh, I'm Mandela aware, invert. So let's say, I think it's one of the reasons why I didn't take a lot of the updates for a while, to put it simply, I think. Because I was never, even if I guess I would never dream. I would never have time to sleep. I just black out and black up, or wake up and run to work. That's all I was ever doing. I didn't
Yeah.
dream. And if I did, but you know what else happened during those years? I don't remember them. Nothing. All my short term never went into long term. Now I say all, that's exaggerating, but like I don't remember a lot of 10 years.
Really?
It never went into long term memory. Yeah, I wasn't sleeping properly for years, so whatever. Kind of lost that shit. It
Damn.
was a waste. Yeah. I did really good at video games. Smoked some good dope though.
See, my husband uses video games as an escape. Like he will just like if he gets something new, or if he's starting to aggravate me, I'll buy him a video game, and so then he'll just be on it for like days on end. Hardly sleeping, hardly eating.
It's the same with the weed. I mean, and it's because of the world. The world is such a freaking chaotic spin, right? Things just to break away from the slave system, essentially. You feel trapped.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've gotten to a level of acceptance about all of this, I think. It seems like the more I accept, the better my life gets. I don't know. It just seems like if I casually think about things and then it could happen, it could not happen, those things happen. Just casual thoughts. I don't know, it's so strange.
Well, in any case, in the grand scale of things, we're spiritual beings anyway, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, for me, I mean, initially I was concerned, sure, but overall, I'm not concerned about me or really too many people I know. I'm more concerned about humanity as a whole.
Yeah.
I don't think where it'll all be in the long run is going to change one way or the other. But I think if we're going to fall and we're going to have hard times, that's going to happen no matter what. But how hard those hard times are can vary.
Yeah.
And I'm a little concerned about that. and for most of my life, and let's say from more of a religious perspective, I mean, sadly, because I'm like, well, people are the world will have to live with whatever they are, whatever they do. But then with the Mandela effect, it's like, they wouldn't do that if they knew. Nobody knows. It's a deception.
Yeah.
It's different, right? It's like if they knew, then obviously most people wouldn't be the way they are. The world wouldn't be the way it is if everybody all of a sudden realized, the Mandela effect or something like that, the spiritual nature of our existence, and had it in front of their face. They wouldn't be beating people in the street and whatever. It's crazy.
You would hope not.
No, they wouldn't. Very, very few. I mean, distasteful people would drop to like, a couple percent at best, and everybody else would get quite a bit better. And besides, once you have a decent percentage, humans are quite a bit of followers anyway, right? So,
well, yeah, we're
you
pack
get a lot of
animals.
people acting really good. You get a lot of people acting really good. A lot of people are going to follow suit.
Oh yeah, I do that in my immediate environment constantly. Like, I'll walk into work and I can tell people are stressed. And then I'll just be like, it's okay. Well, we'll do it. And as people are doing stuff, I'm like, ooh, that looks beautiful. Or, just try to, just inject some positive attitude in there, and it changes your environment immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Hmm.
You around?
Huh?
So it's good to have somebody like you around. Was I cutting out again?
Oh.
Or am I still cutting out?
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit.
Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's started to rain out a bit again, but I think it's going to let up soon.
Really? Oh, and something I was noticing. Oh, God, let me see what my computer's doing. Can you still hear me? Yeah, okay, you can hear me. I'm trying to see if we're
Mm-hmm.
still live. I don't know what is going on with this thing. Come on.
Speaking of weed, they legalized that in my country now, eh?
Oh, yeah, you lucky
Well, for
dog.
weed,
I
kind of.
can't believe
It
they
doesn't make
did
any
that.
difference to me. I quit like 2 years ago, so.
Yeah. But still, I mean, now you don't have to, if you ever did want to do it, just for a night, or I mean, you could. At
I
least the
always could
options
anyway.
there.
I always
Well, I
had the
know, but
option.
now I know, but it's not illegal now.
It never made any difference to me. It's Canada. Never made a stitch of difference one way or the other. If I wanted to walk down the road and smoke a joint, I'd walk down the road and smoke a joint. It just didn't matter. It's
Yeah.
not that. It's not like the U.S. The U.S. is pretty sticky, especially some areas more than others. But it's pretty open here. I mean, yeah, if there's some teenagers, cops like to try to, keep them from getting too far down a bad path. But just everyday users, nobody cares. Nobody ever did.
Yeah. Coming back. Yeah. It's like my Hangouts connection on my computer keeps. There we go.
I'm not really.
You're not really.
I don't really think they should have legal.
Why?
Tell you the truth.
I mean,
There's
it's
no
not
good
hurting
reason
you.
for it.
Is there any good reason for alcohol?
Not a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to help you digest.
I like to cook
Yeah,
with it.
I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of ins and outs, for social gatherings and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. And weed, you could say the same thing, I guess, but you are smoking it most of the time. That's smoke. CBD, CDB oil. I had
Yeah.
some of that. My sister had some, and I took a few drops of it, just ate it. Just tasted pretty much like weed, honestly. Um, like I have a lot of experience with weed. You got to understand. Like I smoked every day since I was like 15 till I was like, I don't know, a lot of years later, right?
Yeah.
Beyond 35. And I analyze things. That's what I do. It took me a couple of decades to realize, well, one, I had that memory issue. So if I had a relationship, like I would literally forget. Like I would learn my lesson and then forget and resort back to being the same person again. Literally like just not remembering. And being a pothead, goes hand in hand. I didn't consider
Yeah.
myself a pothead because I didn't smoke like in the mornings or in the day. I was only in the evening. So I think I kept clear the complete pothead category, but still, there's that. So there's different parts of the high, and one is there's sort of the initial rush, which is really nice when you're caught up in the damn world. I really liked it that's what I really liked when it's not a rush, it's more of a calm down, but it is a rush, I guess, from the drug aspect perspective. But it's a calm down from the world. And then there's the aspect that your mind will kind of wander, but also focus. You can focus in on things, but then you can drift away from other 5 sense things. And this is what makes it dangerous, right? So if you're driving when you're high, they say, oh, your reaction time's bad. Well, it's not really that. It's that you're just not paying freaking attention, right? You know, you're looking in front of you and then something comes from the side and you didn't have that awareness because of your focus on something in particular. That's why you're really good at video games when you're high and you get to know the game. You can really kick some butt. And then, so anyway, with the CBD oil, it's like you still have the focusing. So you focus, things are interesting. That's another thing with weed. Everything's interesting. You can really get focused on doing something because there's an interest in it. You get emotionally-ish kind of linked to a task, I guess. I don't even know, something emotional. I don't know to say emotion or lust or what, but you get attached to doing things. You get focused in on it. You really enjoy it. Sometimes it's art. Sometimes it's a video game. It could be whatever. But with the oil, it's like you still have that, but you don't really dime. Do you know what I mean? So it's not as dangerous, not really very dangerous compared to when you're high.
Yeah.
And there's other aspects of the high, I guess you could say. It's a little harder to describe. My point is not just a painkiller. And actually, I don't think weed is a painkiller at all. I think that's complete bullshit. Weed doesn't
No, it's a hallucinogen. Right?
Anyway, I don't think so. Not technically. I don't know if there's any properties to it that are. Technically, it's not in that category.
THC is a hallucinogen, I thought.
No.
No?
Not in the charts that I've ever seen. I've analyzed a few drug charts in my life. But it's like, so with the CBD oil, it's like you still get that sensation, like you get focused in on things, you enjoy doing things, which is nice, actually. It's not that bad. But you don't lose that outside awareness, so it doesn't become dangerous. It's not like you're high, like you're not tuned into reality. I think that's part of the high. Like you're still tuned into regular reality, but you can also get that focused in enjoyment. So that part of the high is still there. And as far as the pain killing, let me finish that, is that it's not that it doesn't kill, it's not that it can't help pain. It can help pain because it takes your mind off of it. It gets you to focus in on other stuff. You're not thinking about the pain. It doesn't literally make the pain go away like a synthetic painkiller, right? It doesn't literally numb the nerves. It takes your mind off it, but your mind is everything anyway. So indirectly, yes, it does help. It can help pain, but it's not a painkiller. I don't agree with that at all. My point is, finally getting to a much other grander part of it all, and it took me decades to realize that even though I'm enjoying something and I focus in on doing things, attachment to other things becomes ignored. You can actually ignore things like a relationship. And it's really played havoc on relationships. Why? It's not because I didn't care about the person. It's not because I didn't care about their relationship. I lost that emotional linkage there. I wasn't practicing it. It was somewhere else.
Yeah.
And this is not healthy. This is not healthy when you're in a relationship. CBD oil still has that.
Yeah.
You can actually be more in a position to say something you wouldn't normally do because you would feel bad about the consequences. Literally.
Yeah.
How does that sound? Sounds like a fucking drug, right?
Yeah.
That's my point. CBD oil is not good. Maybe it's better than smoking weed, sure. But my point is that it's not just a painkiller and it doesn't get you high. That's a bunch of simplistic bullshit that most people are never going to understand anything past because they didn't spend half their life smoking weed and analyzing shit. But
Yeah.
not to sound like I know it all, but if I know anything, it's freaking weed, right? I know that one. And yeah, it's not the greatest, you know, it's not the cure all. It's not, there is still some of the high there, even though it may not be the disconnection of your five senses high. It's still part of that high activity is still going on. Straight up, it is. Like I can take. I had CDB. I was like, this stuff's pretty cool, actually. And I thought it's kind of. I kind of liked it to a degree. I don't because of the Mandela effect. I don't like any of that stuff now. It's like I don't want to be. I don't want to be asleep when I, you know, there's a war going on. Essentially,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. I mean, I know I'm just exaggerating with the term war, but as an analogy, you know, same thing with girls and sex and relationships and all that. I couldn't give a shit right now. I haven't given a shit for 2 years. Why would I? It's like, you know, oh yeah, there's a nuclear bomb coming. Want to get laid? Not really. You know, like who would? Like, are you crazy? Like that's always the thing on TV. You're gonna have sex in the last couple of minutes of life. Probably not. You know, like are you a moron? It doesn't. It's whatever. Satan's world. It's supposed to be the most important thing, I guess.
Yeah. On my break today, I was sitting there. I was sitting here, you know, with my husband or whatever, and we're watching some stuff on YouTube, and I saw like all of the like rush of immigrants coming out of Central America through Mexico. Like, oh, they're coming to the
Right.
US, they're headed this way. It's the first time I've seen this. I don't know how long it's been on the news. But I was like, well, there you go. I was like, you know, that they sat there like through the Trump election or whatever, talked about a wall. And then now there's an
Mm-hmm.
influx. Well, let's see how the people react. And maybe I said, look, they're going to close off our fucking borders. And then we're really going to be living in an island, like on an island here. So I don't know. I just think that once that happens, then the real, maybe if you believe in the tribulation, maybe the real tribulation's about to start. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, have you looked at that? Do you even look at stuff like that? Like, you know, what they put out
Oh, I
there
heard
in the
about it.
news?
Yeah, that's about what I think of it. That's exactly what it is. It's a drama
Yeah,
episode to watch for political and distraction purpose. And
right.
it's 8,000 people. It's nothing. How many people cross the Mexican American border every day? Not
Yeah, they're
illegal
making
immigrants. How many?
it like
How busy is
millions of
that
people.
border?
Yeah, they're making it look like
There's
it's
a
just
million people a
huge.
day that cross that border.
Yeah,
It's a million people
probably.
a day that cross the border.
Really?
Do you think
That
8,000
many?
makes any difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just looked it up the other day because I was wondering, well, surely there's like 23 border crossings, and between all of them, there's a million people that cross the border every day. Well, who cares about 8,000 people? What are they going to do? You know,
Yeah.
so what should they do? Probably what they do. Do what you do. What's it to the president? What's it to CNN? Who cares? Right? No, it's made to be a story. It's made to be
I
something.
just
Sure, it's a
wonder,
little
like,
different, but
I wonder if all those people are just actors. Are they?
no. But
Are there
they
people
probably
really?
were prompt. No, they're not active. It's probably legit, but it wasn't. It isn't natural. It was. It's not organic. It was. You know, it was promoted. They're probably promised something, or maybe some people were given money. Who knows? It wasn't. It
Yeah.
wasn't started. Nothing starts organically in this world. If there's anything that's going to start organically, it's usually triggered ahead of time, so it can be controlled or diverted or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Same with the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
The whole Fiona Broom thing. They seen it coming. It's like, oh yeah, it's about to pop. People are gonna know soon. Here comes a wave. They'll trigger it ahead of time, give it a title, bring out some characters on YouTube. They'll lead the way. But I think with the Mandela effect, there was massive parts of it that they didn't know the numbers. They could guess, but they didn't know how much evidence it was going to be, how much people will see it, how much will people react to it. I'm sure they crunched a lot of numbers. Like that's all they did. And I say that, maybe it wasn't numbers, maybe it's just spiritual figuring, but it's the craziest thing they ever had to figure out in their life and try to juggle, I think, ever. I'm impressed. Like you guys had huge amounts of people working on this. It's pretty impressive just to try to figure it out. Because I think every time they make a move, something else happens.
Yeah.
And so they have to be careful how much of a move they make, and they don't even know the moves they make because I think it's indirect things that are changing. It's not what they're changing. It's other things changing because they're changing shit. They're shaking the trees and shit's falling out. They don't know what's going to fall out. They don't know how much people will notice. They don't know, but they've prepared ahead of time. They've prepared for decades and decades and decades. It's all the bad TV, bad diets, keep you busy, science, religion. I think they've been preparing for this. I think the devil's been preparing for this. This isn't a spiritual awakening, right?
Right.
On some level, in part, it is a spiritual awakening. So it's a pretty big deal. The devil's been getting ready for this one. I say that. I mean, it could be something that stretches over the next 100 years. I don't know. But
That's
the
true.
devil's been getting ready for this one for a long time. It's a big game now. And that's why you have Trump. That's why you have fake news Trump and New World Order Trump and, I'm against this and I'm against that. You can't believe what that, he's a president saying this? This is conspiracy theory shit, right? You have this now, going mainstream. They're pulling all the cards. They don't care. They got nothing. They're all in. Whole pile. Poker game. They pushed all the chips in. Here we go. It's freaking crazy when you start watching. Wow.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's just like, I think things that are happening now were known like years ago. All this stuff is carefully planned over time.
Yeah.
But just like with seeing that in the news, I'm like, oh God, here we go. Because see, they've been terrorizing Americans on the news for years, like people like my parents who watch that stuff and believe that stuff. They've been sitting there watching it thinking, oh, look at what's happening here. Look what's happening in this country. They're getting overrun with immigrants. So when that stuff starts to come here, Americans are going to freak out, and your typical like programmed American, I mean, has guns, and especially the southern states. People are really big into, like here, people are big into hunting and all kinds of stuff, defending their property. And so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
You know what I think is a good possibility?
What?
It's why they made the FEMA camps.
Yeah. For the immigrants or for us?
Things got out of hand. For the Mandela situation, that they didn't have to use them. At least not yet, and it doesn't look like they will. But there's going to be another wave coming. I think.
Well, now they're starting to push those
whether it's changes. Pardon?
Now they're starting to push the national ID thing here too.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they want to get, before things go too far, they want to have people plugged in to, or a matrix, whatever you want to call it. They want to have the synthetic reality integrated. And I think it's going to be an augmented reality. It'll be both. It'll be a mixture. At least we think it will be for the longest time. It will be for a long time. Eventually, maybe they have plans that are completely fake and nobody will even know. And then it will be the matrix, literally. But I'm plan. Yeah. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. It's very concerning, but what can I do?
We're in an important time right now. A
Yeah.
very important time. It's unbelievable the important time that we live in. Growing up all your life, you think, oh, I don't know, something big's gonna happen, or I'm special or something. At least for me. But all my life, I spent, once I got to be a teenager, I spent all my life after that saying that's just retarded. It's just me. Nothing's gonna happen. And then this happens. I'm like, what? No,
Yeah.
that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh yeah, it was. I knew that all along that something was going to happen, but I just thought, no, it's just me. It's just freaking TV or something planting these big ideas in your head or something. I don't know. It's weird. But I think there,
Yeah.
I would say I think there's going to be another wave coming. And if I was to guess, I would say it's going to be in a year and a half. I think it is going to be very slow for a while now. And I called this a long time ago. And all I have to do is learn virtual. And not that I think CERN is everything. I just think they are the poster child for the situation. They are the poster child collider. There's colliders all over the world, and they're likely all linked.
Yeah.
The big ones, anyway, are linked. And they're on a shutdown now until the end of 2019. And then they're going to be live again for 3 years and then have a shutdown for 2.5 and then go live again. But each time they shut down and go live again, it's bigger. It's more powerful. So this next time around, come the beginning of 2020, it's going to be twice as powerful as it was. And
Yeah.
then they shut down for 2.5 years. And then when it comes back on, it'll be 5 to 7 times as strong as it was originally. So I would almost think that might be, I mean, if I was to mix it in with typical perspective, I would almost say that might be the Antichrist period. It's the middle of 2025.
Yeah.
Just a guess. Because I think it is the Antichrist, essentially, in the power of this technology, you could say, spiritual form of technology will be in the hands of the Antichrist. He'll perform fake miracles. That's just it. It's a fake miracle. It's not a real miracle. It's synthetic. It's cheating,
Yeah.
kind of.
It really is. I don't know.
I think they've known all along, like you say. I think the high-end occultists have done this all along. Like, whether it be the royalty bloodlines, I think they've changed things in the world all the time, but I think they could only do it in local little areas. So there's certain things you couldn't do. It's spread all over the damn world. They can't reach it.
Ooh,
They could change something locally.
James Johnson says China's collider is huge. When is it supposed to go live? Is it new?
I don't think they're done yet. It is going to be, I think, yeah, like 100 or a couple 100 kilometer size one. They've already talked. They want to. They've already had like a couple hundred scientists come together, same size, right in the CERN area, like right in that same area, France and Switzerland. They kind of plan on building in a big one. Like I said, I think it's 100 to 200 kilometers compared to the 27-kilometer one, which is there now. I don't know when China is going to be done, but yeah, they're part of it. They're part of everything. They're not some epic enemy or whatever. It's all,
Yeah.
it's all Satan's world. I don't know. I could be slightly wrong. It could be a competition. I'm going to do what I want. No, I'm going to do it this. I'm going to do that. And they might get into a reality war. That's crossed my mind. That would be epic.
Oh, is it on air? Is it off air? There, okay, it's still on air.
You're back on.
I'm back on. I don't know what the deal is with my system. It's been weird lately because, we were looking at some stuff where they shut down YouTube for a couple hours or something last week. And, when you look at that, I mean, they could very easily shut down the banking system if they could do that. Because it wasn't just YouTube, it was a bunch of different, you know, addresses. It didn't just happen to YouTube, it happened to like a group of addresses. But anyway, I don't know. I'm just worried.
I don't
Like
think they
borders
will.
closing. You don't think they will?
Not really. Well, if they did, it would be for a reason. But they're not
Yeah.
just going to permanent. No, that's actually very risky for them to do. We'd all of a sudden be free. Now, it might be some real rough days before we get back on our feet. Lose control. The money system's a huge.
Are you there? Okay, there you
Are you
are. I
still
think I
there?
can hear you. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah. Like they might do something, whether it be a shutdown or destabilize it. Um, if it helps something like a war or something, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, because it just seems that they're basically saying, like, we're going to have this national ID. Then when you have all this influx of, immigrants coming in, and they're going to close down the borders. And this is my husband saying all this stuff. He's like, it's about to happen. It's about to happen. But I don't know if that's to get people like us to think it's going to happen. I don't know. I guess all of it doesn't matter, but I don't know. I have kids, and I'm still worried about it.
I wouldn't stress it.
Yeah,
It
it's probably no
isn't,
big deal.
and they're still going to do trade. It's just people.
Yeah, that's
People are
true.
going to cross the border now. It doesn't really change much. But it's all, you could say for politics, but it's, of course, bigger than that. I almost question what's really going on. Stuff up like this, they're just distracting you from other things. But if that's
Yeah,
TV all the time, that's a news all the time now. They're just constantly distracting people from some of the real events going on in the world. Most of that is in the Middle East in recent years, really, and the Mandela effect.
yeah. Well, all the fake bullshit that goes on, like all the shootings, and I don't believe in any of those. James Johnson says it's like Nazi Germany. We will have to show our papers everywhere we go. It's like that anyway. I don't know. I get stopped in roadblocks all the time. They just want
Yeah,
to see your license. You know, I mean, they're not supposed to be able to do that, but what can you do? What are you going to do? Tell them no?
some people do.
I know.
Doesn't always work out well.
No, that's scary for me. I would never do that. I mean, I can't do that right now. December 12th will be a different story, but right now I can't do that. Oh, I'm going to grab something to drink.
You know,
I'm on parole, and I will be until December 12th. I get off. What are you guys doing? Giggle butts. Oh, my head hurts. Have you been having headaches? Any bad headaches lately?
not really. I had a few bad days where I didn't feel well, but I kind of brought it on myself by not eating right.
Yeah. I don't know. My head's been killing me lately. So what else has been going on? Anything interesting in your life?
Nope.
No. What about work? How's work?
Apparently I caused a bit of shit on someone's YouTube channel.
Oh yeah. Ah, I don't know. That made me feel bad. I was like, oh shit.
Apparently there's something I didn't watch. I never went and watched it, but I did see the short little that he was going off YouTube for a bit or something.
Yeah.
They're like, I say things, and so therefore suggesting things, but I guess I don't. To be fair about it, like every video I gave the timestamp. You go watch it yourself. Whatever it is what it is. There's another whole huge aspect that someone can be doing good, right? And they're just basically mistaken. That doesn't mean that they're of ill intent. That's a big. That's the different side of the line difference, right?
Yeah.
And that can be quite possible. That might be the possible situation. I would still think that it's wrong. They may think that it's proper or right. I don't mean right as incorrect. I mean the correct thing to do, even though they would have to be, but still from their perspective, that would be the correct thing to do.
Yeah.
Or even work would still be the correct thing to do. It's kind of like, it's hard to explain. So in a lot of beliefs, there's not about God and Satan. It's about equal account of which God and what one do you follow or do you, and in some cases none of those them are not the creator God. There are different gods of this, different fallen angels essentially, which are considered to be gods, and then there's a good and there's a bad one, and blah blah blah, different scenarios. That case, I don't know this person, right?
Yeah.
So I can't assume they're of ill intent. I do assume that I don't agree with them.
Yeah.
That is a bit of an assumption, but from what I've seen, I made my assessment. I don't agree with it. It may not be intentful to do harm or to be of ill intent. I don't know. So typical freaking Christian mind, right? That doesn't necessarily. Things are complex in this world. The more you learn about different ideologies and teachings and secret groups and what
It's
people get
funny. It's
taught.
complicated, but then again, it isn't, because it's like they all are basically the same. They have like so many similarities. It seems like they all have a similar origin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're
The
complex and
lies
different, but
that they're
then
told are complicated.
yeah, yeah,
To me, there's no reason for a secret. I don't agree with secrets. I don't agree with lies.
yeah. There shouldn't be secrets. The information should be out there. I agree with that. You know, secrets are how you control. But yeah, that
Right.
situation was kind of weird, but it's like whatever. What can I do?
Somebody can listen. Somebody in different shoes, and I'm not saying this man in particular. I really don't know what the deal is. All I really ever meant was I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
But and not from a Mandela theory perspective. But again, like somebody in some particular set, say everything because there's other groups and they have a god and we have our god and we can't tell them other things because it's basically a war. And maybe it is a war. Our war. And spiritual and everything else. So yeah. I don't know, you know, again, from a different person's shoes, they might think that they're doing good from everything they know and everything they understand. It might be lies or limited information. They could think that they're doing good. And there's this also, there's sort of the neutral part too. So they have certain person could have, which is, this could be a very good case in this situation, that a person could have certain understandings and views, a little bit ideologies, but more or less certain teachings and understandings. And then something happened, like the Mandela effect, and they associate it to what they know and start analyzing it from that perspective. But that's the wrong perspective, and that's limited. And of course, that person can't come out and tell us everything that they're thinking, because a lot of it's based off of secret stuff that they're not allowed to be telling everybody, right? So it's almost could be a little bit stuck between a rock and a hard spot for them, which is under good intentions. You know, I don't hold that against anybody.
Well, it's all conjecture.
Just agree. For sure. I'm just telling you, you know, like,
yeah.
Just because I don't agree with something, or you know, doesn't mean that I think a person's bad. Not necessarily. That is often assumed from a Christian perspective. It's almost always assumed, because there's a whole lot more going on in the world than your average public person or Christian person understands. There's a lot more. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just throwing some bones out there, you know, like, whatever. I don't know. I didn't mean to be too harsh about it.
No. Well, it's like I always tell my daughters, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. I mean, there's nothing I got a lot of assholes. I mean, but everybody's got their own opinion, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Of just, you know, what this place is, what life is. Everybody lives their own separate reality in a way. You know, your perception is what, you know, translates this place for you. So, sure. I don't know.
I think what's important is that people understand why they have the perception they have, what causes them to think like that.
Yeah.
And willing to be able to, whatever, figure shit out, listen to other information, and not be biased on what they already think, right?
Yeah.
Not be a follower, you know, have your own thoughts and think the way you do. Something people don't do. People don't think about what they're thinking. People are always thinking about what everybody else is damn well thinking.
That's true. Fizzy Pop says, show Martha the dolphin. I want to see.
The dolphin? Yeah, picture of the one just has its head out of the water.
I don't know. Is it like a meme or something?
Mm-hmm. I mean, something to do with last night's show, but I don't really totally get it all. I don't know. They were going through some pictures, and somehow it turned into some sexual sort of. People started laughing, and I don't even know why. I didn't really get it. I don't know. This one isn't, though. This one is just the meme made for after the fact. I can find it. Mm-hmm. I gotta save the image. Oh no, I don't. I can just bring it open a tab.
I love you, Fizzy Pop.
What'd she say now?
She said because it looks like a phallus, Noble. But she didn't say phallus. She said dick. I don't like that word.
But the one The one which is the one I got here, the meme doesn't. The one that was sticking out of the water that was kind of erect out of the water, perhaps. I guess. Was the idea. But this here is the meme that she made after.
Oh.
Well, a little bit after the fact. I thought we were tight, but you snubbed me.
Oh, it's cute. It's just
Because
a look
everybody
on
was
its
laughing
face.
at the dolphins. They're actually, I don't know, whales, actually. I think they are. I don't know. Something. Yeah.
Fizzy said I didn't make it. I found it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was appropriate.
Oh, you can't cute. What is it, like a beluga whale?
I don't know. I should pay more attention. I guess I could find the one that was on the show that they were laughing about, but I probably don't really want to bother.
Oh, Sharkticon says, I'm off topic here, but the actress that played on The Fifth Element and Resident Evil movies, her name's spelling changed. Huh.
No.
I don't know.
I thought I was doing really good. I'm like, oh yeah, the girl that played on The Fifth Element. I know that one. I know what she looked like. That's it.
Abby, better get away from my table. I see you. No, ma'am. Come here. Get away from my table. I see you. Stuff to no good.
I should watch that movie.
What, The Fifth Element?
Yeah, I have seen it like 2 or 3 times at least. And I haven't seen it since sort of the recent Mandela period. Good chance something's different, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows?
The worst for me are all the freaking kitchen nightmares. Like all those Gordon Ramsay shows. I mean,
yeah.
they don't even make that show anymore. And I'll sit there and like, not that I know of. They may have new seasons of it, but I don't think so. But I don't think they even air that show anymore. And I will like find episodes and I'm like, what? I've never seen this before. But I know I've watched all of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or like situations will be different within the show. Abby, get away from my table. I see you. Come here. Stay away from that. I see you.
I did see something in a movie that seemed to be different to me. Before I get into that, there, I'll show you the picture I found on the show from last night. The inappropriate content. So we were going through some different animal pictures and stuff, and he came up, which is the little guy you just see in.
Yeah, looks like a Pokemon.
Apparently, I don't know. I'm guessing that Kay and maybe Fizzy, but Kay anyway, had something going through her head during this picture, and then right after that picture came this picture.
Oh yeah.
And then they started laughing. Research on the side, and like I ended up going back like right away during the live stream, looking at like I don't even know what they were laughing at. Okay. So then they're like laughing at this picture, and then the two of them. Then by the time this picture came up, they just lost it.
I think that's like seeing what you want to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see it.
I don't remember the picture being small either. How come the picture's oh there he's blown it up now? Which I'm sure that terminology would have made them laugh last night too.
Well, yeah, and then the little dolphins or whatever they are have a little satisfied look on their face too. Gross.
Yeah. It was just, you know, a moment. They had a moment and they got real giddy and stuff. And, yeah.
And Fizzy says it was okay.
A good deal of it was Kay getting going, yeah. It was all in her head. And then she got it into Fizzy's head. And then Dan got blamed, but then Dan blamed Fizzy for putting the pictures in that particular order.
That is kind of funny. Is everybody getting colds where you are?
It is cooling off a bit. Not bad.
I know, but are people getting sick though?
Beats me. I don't talk to nobody.
You don't talk to anybody?
No. Not that I know of. I do talk to some people, but I'm not out and about too much. A movie, not Tom Cruise, the other guy who's actually not an idiot, played on Troy.
I don't know.
Do you Troy? I'll bring it up.
Okay.
This is the scene that seems different to me. Achilles. Maybe I'm saying that wrong.
Oh, I remember this movie.
Do you remember when the two sides were going to battle and then like they decided to bring out their best warrior each to fight each other instead? So they didn't all have to try to kill each other?
Oh, I don't know.
And that's when dude comes out. This is like in freaking different mode of the screen here. This scene is not the same for me. And I don't remember movies like a ton.
Yeah.
But are you able to see this? Kind of.
I don't know. That doesn't look familiar.
Just 1 second here.
I don't know.
So there's this giant dude. He's kind of a giant from the other side. And he's going to fight this other guy so the two sides don't have to go to battle. He gets all worked up. And he comes running at him. This guy throws a spear. Hits the shield. He tosses the shield. That makes sense. He tosses another spear. He dodges it. That makes sense. At this point, I thought, and this is sort of like a little bit of, I thought, he started dropping more things like his helmet. Maybe he didn't, but I thought he dropped a few more things to get lighter so he could run even faster. Maybe he didn't. That's fine.
Yeah.
He runs. He comes up. And he, right there, it's not the same move. And I know for like a girl, they're not going to catch it. It's the only part of the movie I remembered. It's the only part I cared about. It was so effing cool. He did like a two-step. He dashed one way and dashed the other and came back, but now he just leans and runs back over. He's one way and then he just leans over and jumps up. That's not the way it happened. He did like this little shuffle step and it was freaking sweet. It was really, really slick. And it isn't. Now he's just like, you see how he's just like running up one side and then he leans to the other side and jumps towards it. It's really simple. Like, that's dumb. Why didn't he just like take dude's head off? What freaking fighter would ever miss him? It was retarded right there.
Yeah.
There's nothing to it. But originally when I seen it, I remember a freaking amazing little shuffle step. Just a little dots. It's like a fake, right? You fake left, you hop right, you shuffle and hop right and up and over.
Oh, like you're playing
And
basketball.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like what basketball this little fake, because it's not even a fake, right?
Yeah.
It was nothing. He just leaned one way and then ran sideways and jumped up and stabbed him. That was dumb. I don't know what, I could be wrong, but that's not how I remember it. I literally could be misremembering. Maybe I just thought it was epic because I was in the theater and I was being brainwashed. I don't know.
I don't know.
But like, to me, this is just lame now. Like, that's dumb.
Yeah, I wasn't studying hard.
The other movie one that really got me is The Lord of the Rings, because I've seen that in the theater, and I was seeing a few movies in the theater at the time, but when I watched that, I wasn't a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and then I didn't really know much about it, and then I seen him, like, that was really good. I liked it, right? It was pretty good, like actually a real theater movie. And
yeah.
I hate Harry Potter, essentially. So
I do too.
Anyway, I see in The Lord of the Rings, and Gandalf gets into the standoff against this big giant devil dude, right? You know the Mandela part I'm getting to? Do you know about this Mandela one?
I don't think so.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I read the books too.
Yeah. So Gandalf is over this almost bottomless pit that looks like it reaches to hell, and there's this walkway that goes across. It's like this hanging arc of rocks, and he's at a standoff with this big giant, insanely powerful devil looking dude, or giant demon or something. You could kind of assume it's the devil, I guess. I don't know. And he demands him, like, he will not pass. He will not get across, right? He's like, you will not pass. And it doesn't work. And then he says, you shall not pass. He demands it. He slams his staff down and breaks the walkway. And the devil thing starts falling, the endless pit. And then the whip at the last second, like, Gandalf already turns around. It's like he's gone, but then everything's so huge, and so the whip is so long, like a half a freaking mile long or something, something ridiculous anyway. And the whip comes back around and grabs him by the foot and almost pulls him right off, but Gandalf grabs the edge and he's like slipping. And one of them goes to run back to help him. Who's the main freaking little guy? Frodo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Frodo goes to help him, and Gandalf doesn't even want the help, and he looks at him. And to me, this was the most epic sentence in a movie I ever heard. I'm like, wow, I was so impressed, right? He looks at him, and he's about to fall to his death, and he looks at him like he's crazy, and he says, run, you fool, right? Yeah. In other words, he's saying, don't worry about my life. It's not important. That thing that fell into the bottomless pit is so powerful. So powerful. You should be running right now. He might look gone, but he's coming back, right? Like, the fact he's fallen into a bottomless pit is very temporary. This thing is so powerful. You should already be running, you fool, right? It was an epic concept when he said this, and he said, run, you fool. And it was just like, I even when I get out of the theater at the same time, I told my girlfriend, I was like, that was a line. Like, that was an epic moment in a movie if I've ever seen one. Probably, and I said, that's probably the most epic line and moment in a movie I've ever seen in my life. That was amazing, right? Because of the whole meaning behind it all.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't say that anymore. Now it says, fly, you fool. Or fly, you fools. Maybe it's pluralized now. It might
How
have
are
been
they going to fly?
before.
How are they going to fly?
I don't know. There was some creature they were flying on in some part of the movie. I don't know if it happens right afterwards, or maybe they got to that near the underground area using some flying eagle thing, maybe some big bird. So they
Oh
were
yeah.
flying at one point, but I mean, he wouldn't say that anyway, right? Run away, fly. He doesn't fly, but yeah, it ruined it. It ruined the most epic line and moment in a movie ever to me. Like, you got to be kidding me. So that one, like, I know, so obvious that that's changed. Sadly, some people were arguing that it says run in the book but fly in the movie. I think people just argue shit. You notice that on
Yeah.
the internet, people just say shit. It's like,
It's like with the
it
Bible stuff, they're
just,
like, it's a translation problem. They always
yeah,
say that. Well, which translation are you using? Like, bitch, this is
yeah.
my Bible that I've been reading for like 100 years. When your personal Bible changes, it doesn't matter what the translation is. Whatever. Whatever.
But yeah, the whole internet's like that, and the whole world's getting like that. You know what it reminds me of? It's weird how things are changing because when we were in grade school growing up, and nobody knew anything, and you could just tell some, because I wasn't a liar, but essentially you could just tell some kid anyway, and that's the truth. That's a fact now. And that really
Yeah.
is, right? You just make up shit. Kids just make shit up. And that's the way it is. Oh, okay. Right? And everybody believes them for some reason, and there's no way to fact check. Nowadays, you have the internet, and apparently this is all going away because everybody can just fact check everybody now on the internet. Well, it turns out that the whole damn internet's the same thing. It's all bullshit. It's unbelievable. It's all, or I don't know, I shouldn't say that, but but everybody on the internet is doing that, just saying whatever.
Yeah.
And then it takes someone else to come along and fact check for them. And
Yeah, like remember the dollar thing, the thing with the money? Did you see all those videos?
the dollar sign?
No, so there was a person, it's not the dollar sign. There was a person that was like, I looked at my money and all of it says 2013.
Oh, right.
It's like,
Sure. The series number.
yeah, all I had to do was Google that. I mean, I just Googled it and there it was. It's like they didn't even bother. They just like started putting out all these videos. Mine's like that too. It's like, it's like, well,
No, it's unbelievable.
it says series.
Yeah, they can't even do basic research. They can't even do a Google, Wikipedia research, like minimal. Like, what the hell?
And see, my friend does that shit. He'll call me up and he'll be like, he'll ask me a question about something. I'm like, Frankie, why didn't you just look it up on the internet? Or, you got the world at your fingertips. Everybody's got a smartphone. I don't know. It's just strange to me how sometimes people don't look things up. I don't know.
That came up during the show. We were talking about that. And during that period of people talking about it, I looked it up live on the show, and I just didn't look up the information. I got to is it the Federal Reserve? I can't even remember. But I got to the official websites that listed all the series numbers and what bills were printed under which years of series. And
yeah.
There is actually 2017 series for particular bills. I see them. It's like it didn't end at 2013, but the most popular is anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be the most circulated because it's been around for longer. Whatever. Whatever and ever, amen. Just don't get it.
What were you going to say?
No, I just said whatever and ever, amen. Like these people just... It's like, okay, there was another thing I saw on the internet, and it was, they're like, there's this green orb in the sky over France. And it was like a live stream of, they do these live streams of like the skyline in different areas. Well, they had this one in France, and there's this like large green orb in the sky. And I looked at it for a few minutes, and I thought to myself, it looks like the light on a camera reflecting in a window.
Right.
And then it took me a couple of minutes to sit there and like search other like webcams in the area. And I mean, that's what it is. But people were running with it. They were just like, "Oh, it's this
Yeah,
big
it was
orb,"
ridiculous.
and you know what I'm talking about, or did you see that?
Yeah, we looked at it. We looked at it on a Mandela Monday show.
Oh,
Dan had
did
it on
you?
because somebody brought it up in the chat or something. Yeah, and I was laughing at it from the beginning.
I saw
And
it
then
on
eventually I
Naughty
just brought
Beaver.
up another live stream from France. We watched the sun come up. It could lighter out and never got lighter daylight on that camera.
Yeah, yeah, I saw it on Naughty Beaver channel.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know.
No, it was nonsense. You know what I did find or flew into that was pretty cool was the lights over Milwaukee. Did you see that video?
No.
On the morning news, Fox News Local had a camera running sort of the morning sky. It was still pretty much nighttime and early morning. And there's like crazy lights kind of going everywhere. I mean, very.
Was it the one they later said was birds? It was like birds reflecting it,
Yeah,
which was
right.
bullshit.
Yeah. Clearly, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And of course, the UFO people jump on it and say that they're some sort of flying machines or something, which makes no sense anyway when you look at it. It's like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
They're almost flying around like some bugs or something, like, and it wasn't really even quite like bugs, nor was it like seagulls, because the things were dropping hundreds of feet. Seagulls don't dive, right? These things were diving and soaring and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at it,
Was...
and I looked at it, and you can tell, I can tell, what I think they are. They're angels.
That's
They're
what I was
literally angels.
That's what I thought they were. I was like, ooh, look. But
they totally look. I've never seen nothing like it before. They're clearly not flying discs like the typical discs. They're clearly not orbs. They look like freaking angels. It's unbelievable. And I don't know, are they good angels, fallen angels? I don't know.
I don't know.
I was thinking on uploading it, putting it on my YouTube channel and saying angels. So I don't think anyone on the internet has done that. Signs in the skies. That would be one.
How long ago did that happen? That was a couple months ago, huh?
Yeah, I think it was quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
February or March, something like that. I should really download it and then get it zoomed in a couple spots. I got a pretty good program. I could take half a day and play around, try to get some pictures out of it. I got to find the best copy that I can to do it, which kind of sucks on the internet. A lot of people copy stuff and copies of copies, and they're not using good programs to continue the quality.
Yeah. And really, the little local news stations don't always put out the best quality either. Because I know it was like a city sky cam or something. Was it?
Yeah. I'm willing to bet this one was pretty damn good. It looked pretty clear. Most of that stuff is broadcasting in HD. Now, I say it's broadcasting. That doesn't mean, like you say, that particular camera was a high definition camera. But really, most are now. Your freaking cell phone's a high definition camera. It's just a matter of keeping the damn thing still to get a good image, to have it stable. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of Mandela stuff in recent times.
Yeah, me neither. I've just been like meditating and working. fixing up our house, just like normal shit. Besides, like with my father-in-law, passing away recently, we've just been kind of, I don't know. I don't know. It seems like it sparked us like spending more like family time together, and
Right.
kind of shakes you up, makes you realize like, I don't know, this could be very short.
Yeah.
Oh, but you know what? Joe's dad had like a bunch of coins. And we've been sitting around like looking at the coins, and it's like it's been really nice. He had a bunch of like Indian head pennies, and like we found a bunch of like silver quarters and things like that. So it's been kind of fun. It's been a nice little activity to go through all that junk. It's odd to hold a penny that's like from the 1800s, and you just think how many people had this penny.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah. It could have been a fancy lady's penny back in the day. You just never know. I don't know. Yeah, it's like, I was sitting there looking at one day my sister she kept trying to urge me to go on like this all meat diet, this carnivore diet.
It's
And
super popular, eh?
yeah, it's popular right now. So I started looking at the food pyramid and I started thinking, they say that the thing on the bottom is like breads and pastas and then it's like vegetables and then I almost wonder if you should eat it like upside down, because meats and fats and stuff are always at the top. And I wonder if the opposite is really good for you. I don't know. I've started doing the
I
opposite of
think it's
everything.
complicated.
Yeah, I think it's complicated. It depends on the person, I think. I just have so many damn allergies. I'm just trying anything.
Yes, that is where this carnivore angle thing has been working for some people who have had extreme, wide spanning allergic issues.
Yeah.
And so the way to avoid it is just don't eat anything that you could be allergic to.
Yeah.
I think what people should be trying before they try a carnivore diet, because I've talked to some other people that had extreme allergic issues. One girl in from Florida that I met through Mandela, and she was in a really bad position, and she cut everything out of her life, eating, and then added one thing at a time. She got to the point that, like, basically, she doesn't eat anything out of a box, a
Yeah.
jar, or a can, anything, anything out of a package. And
Yeah.
it's not that. And what happens? So when you're allergic to something, let's say like the peanut issue, a lot of the peanut issue likely came along because of the injections, and they had oils in peanuts. And there's other lactin issues that peanuts have, connections, relations to, or similarities to. So what it is that your body now, when you get peanut oil, thinks that it's something else, and your body will react to it. Peanut oil wasn't the
Oh,
issue; something else was the issue, right? But your body
right.
will react. Now, this has been starting to show up, like in this girl's case, it's starting to show up in other scenarios. So for her, it was anything that was lactans at all. So if you research into lactans, I mean, it's even added into everything. When you start reading ingredients and stuff, it's everything,
Yeah.
everything that's packaged, right? Just about like so much has lactans in it, and lactans is a form of oil, as far as I understand. It's like an oil substance, right? A plant-based oil. And when you think about it, plant-based oils, well, what do we eat that's plant-based oil issue stuff? You know, you start looking at corn oil, all this other monoglycerides, diglycerides. They've been really hammering us with a bunch of oil substance bullshit, right? Even the margarine, the cheese slices, this is all like manipulated lactams and oil-based products. So I think that it's in relation to that, that your body's, some people, their body will become very sensitive to anything like that and will react to it. And so in her case, she had to cut out all lactams. The other thing that she had to make sure she went nowhere near was citric acid. And citric acid is in everything. Again, you can't buy a freaking can of tomatoes. You can't buy a jar of tomato. You can't buy organic tomatoes without having citric acid added to it. Of course, you can't drink pop. Pop is where the citric acid's really coming from, right? That's what pop is. Citric
I'm drinking
acid.
one right now.
Yeah, people think that citric acid.
Fuck.
Yeah, and people think that, oh, well, it's natural. It comes from fruits. Oh, the idea of it came from fruits. No, they grow it in giant cesspools, is what they do. Yeah, it's disgusting how they create or grow citric acid. It's, I don't know if it's a fungus or something. There's something.
Really?
They're growing in giant pools. Yeah, to get citric acid. Oh, our whole system's fucked. No wonder we're fucked up. And so these are the two main things, lactams and citric acid, you really have to stay away from, which basically boil down to anything in a jar, a package, a can, right? Anything.
Yeah.
So I think this is where some people are starting to fall into this type of category of you're just allergic to things that you're not going to figure out what it is. It's not simple. It's not part of the freaking food groups. It's not that simple. So when they go on a carnivore diet, they just cut all that out, right? For the most part, they cut out lactams and they cut out citric acid, and maybe some other things. They've obviously cut out glutens. I think the idea that we're allergic to gluten is ridiculous, and it probably isn't the original issue. The issue stemmed from something else.
I know what the original issue with that is. It's that your body's not alkaline. Like the water you're drinking is not alkaline, so then your body cannot metabolize the gluten.
Oh yeah.
Unless you have celiac disorder. But yeah, for a lot of people, they're like, I'm gluten sensitive. Really, it's because the water you're drinking is not good. You get some good water.
Oh yeah. And everything else in your diet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole diet base is horrible. So that's what I would suggest to somebody, considering, because I don't think a carnivore diet's healthy either, honestly.
Well, yeah, and see, that's the thing. I couldn't do the full thing. I'm still eating vegetables. I mean, I have to eat some. I mean, ones I know I'm not allergic to, like spinach and kale and, bok choy and all that stuff.
You're allergic to tomatoes, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm allergic to tomatoes and like eggplants.
Acid.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, let's check out to see if eggplant has citric acid.
It's all nightshade. It's the nightshade vegetables. Anything that's a nightshade, I'm allergic to.
I don't know what that means.
Well, like a tomato is a nightshade vegetable. It's like a group of vegetables.
Oh.
Eggplants are. There's peppers are like bell pepper, those types of things.
Okay.
They were all considered
poisonous. They're all similar.
Yeah. They were all considered poisonous at one time. Early settlers in this country didn't eat tomatoes. They thought they were poisonous.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
But yeah, I guess they are for some people.
They grow really easy.
I know.
Do you know
I love them too.
Do you know how you grow tomatoes like ridiculous? Like one of my girlfriends read it online and tried it, and it was insane. I say one of my girlfriends, my last girlfriend. I was with her for a long time, but when you like most of the time you plant a sprout, whatever, a baby tomato plant. To grow them from seed is really a pain in the butt. So you just grow the little, whatever they are, the little tiny tomato plants.
Yeah, the
When
little
you plant it,
seedlings. Mm-hmm.
yeah, when you plant it, put a Tums underneath and some Epsom salt. The thing will grow like a freaking jungle. These things were
Really?
growing so big, like we had to constantly, we did it 2 or 3 years in a row. We had to constantly keep like string and sticks going like insane because they get so big they just fall over and break. Oh yeah, they're as big as me, way bigger than me. All of them just kept
Huh.
growing and growing. As long as you keep watering them, they keep growing. I think what it is the Tums is calcium and the salt is salt. So I think it's a
Right.
base for it to grow, but you just add water, right? And you have a building blocks that plant can take and just grow. And if a plant grows bigger, it gets a bigger root system, therefore it can produce more fruit. I mean, we had so, just off of, I don't know, maybe 8 or 12 tomato plants, we had so many tomatoes, like big box of them. Just insane amount of tomatoes. There's no end to them.
Yeah, my dad
Really
used to
simple.
bury he used to bury hair in there with his tomato plants. He used to take the hair from our hairbrushes.
What? Hair?
Yeah. He said it released something into the soil. He used to grow nice tomatoes. They were real big.
It could
No, no.
it could have something to some similar attributes to be a building block for them, but I don't see how you get too much out of it. I don't really know
I
what
don't know.
hair is. It certainly sounds pretty weird.
His dad was a soil scientist when he
Really?
was a kid. Yeah.
Oh, you
He
must have been
worked
onto
for the state of
something.
Mississippi. Yeah. Who knows? I knew a guy who used to get like his grandkids like the inside to their pee pee diaper. It's like if you rip open a little kid's diaper, there's like a pad in there that basically soaks everything
Yeah,
up. And he would put those
yeah.
in his garden. And he said it would slowly release, I guess, nitrogen or something into the soil, or I don't know. It's gross.
Huh.
Who knows?
Why they were used?
Yeah, they were used like pee pee diapers.
Oh, he wanted the pee.
Yeah,
Interesting. I could see nitrogen to that. I think that makes sense to me.
I guess.
It's not a really big deal.
Yeah.
Um, you kind of should. Anything you put in a garden, like even if you're adding manure, um, you really should do it like the year before, like the fall before
Yeah.
or early spring. You gotta let it rot in there a little, you know. You don't want it too fresh. I think just the bacteria level, you gotta get it down.
Yeah,
Whatever.
like this is the time of year I start like piling up leaves and wood clippings and that kind of stuff to add in for next year.
Right.
So let all that stuff rot over the winter. I don't know. I like having a little victory garden. It's nice.
What do you grow?
I mainly grow herbs and stuff. Like right now, I have purple basil. I have regular oregano, like, and then I have Greek oregano. Oh, and green onions. That's what I'm growing at the moment. I'm about to.
Cannabis.
No, no way. It's illegal. And no, I wouldn't do that anyway. I got kids. I don't want my kids taken over something stupid.
It's an herb.
I know, but no, I mean, I like growing stuff like rosemary and things like that.
You know, um, we have an herb in Nova Scotia region,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more widespread, but not by much. It's very local to Eastern Canada. Called, is it summer savory? Have you heard of summer savory?
I've heard of savory.
Okay, maybe it is. It must be summer savory. I don't
Yes.
know if I'm mixing it up.
Yeah, it's like a French herb. They have it in
Right.
herbs de Provence or whatever. It's like the
This must be
chicken herbs.
another particular type of it. It grows naturally here, I think.
I'd like to grow
I don't
pepper,
know.
like different
Some
peppercorns.
peppers.
Yes, like some peppercorns.
Oh, that's a
Mm,
good idea. This shit's expensive.
it is. It
It's
really is.
ridiculous that when I buy pepper, I'm like, what? What a rip.
It apparently takes like about 3 years for them to produce.
Yeah.
Yeah, any significant amount anyway. I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about it because I don't know. We were going to buy a piece of property and it got derailed. Things went wrong with the deal. And then, like, our financial situation changed. But now it looks like all that's going to be a possibility again. I'm getting excited. So I keep thinking about gardening and kind of living off the grid a bit, just a little bit. I still want to be comfortable. Like, I don't want a composting toilet. I'm not going to do that. It's gross. I still have to
You
have, like,
can't just do that.
I know it's so gross. I still want like city plumbing and things.
I've seen whatever sort of stupid setups on TV and stuff. And
Yeah.
like, dude has like, I don't know, like a shitter, like all like in an apartment size backyard and like shit and piss in a bucket and little tubes going to gardens. I'm like, you can't just do that, you moron. You're gonna die. Like
Yeah.
you, there's certain ways that it has to break down, right? Oh man, people kill me, or they
I
kill
know.
themselves. Hopefully.
Hopefully. So they don't procreate
Oh dear heavens, it's just
and make
like it's
more.
not that simple. Yeah, I mean, like I was saying to you, even when you use manure, which is like not human, it's like animals that eat grass, right? Not pigs. I
Right.
would never use pig manure. It's
Oh
horrible.
no.
But even then, I'm telling you, I'm saying you should put that in like the season before,
Oh yeah,
let
you
that
never use
get
it
a chance
that.
to start rotting.
Yeah, you don't ever run out and like scoop it out of the field and then throw it in your garden. You just got to add it to your compost. It's got to sit,
Right.
you know. Got to let all that
I think I'm
bacteria.
having issues with
You
the
do?
computer here.
Oh.
Yeah, I went to screen share and now this whole tab is not responding. So I'm surprised I'm still talking to you at the moment, but
It still says we're
um
live.
yeah. Oh, you're fine. It's just locking up on my end. It might release. If not, I might end up losing you eventually, but whatever. It's working.
Oh.
It's working. It's working. I had found summer savory. Yeah, there is something. It says it's a traditional herb of Atlantic Canada.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I've always that they use in Louisiana, but that's probably a Canadian influence because you know how that migration went.
Oh, yeah, the Acadians.
Yeah,
Right.
all the French Cajuns, yeah. Yeah, they came from France to Canada and then migrated from Canada to Louisiana. So,
Yeah, the British were like, get the hell out of here. And not all of them left. The major settlements left, but there's still, even one of the communities I grew up in has a lot of French Acadians, but it's in the country. And there's a couple of small towns around that are French, like Acadian French, not Quebec. Quebec French came along later on. The Acadians were
yeah.
first by quite a bit, maybe 100 years or something. I don't know.
I have a
But
daughter
yeah,
who
there's some
takes
French
like
around.
I have a daughter who takes advanced French and she wants to travel to like French speaking Canada. That's like
Yeah.
that's her deal. Yeah. She's like, I want to go there. So
I've driven through it a few times.
Do you speak French at all?
Basically, no, but I did take French class. Like, I don't know, they start you a little bit in elementary, and then you have to take it for another 3 years. And then high school, you don't have to anymore. So,
Yeah.
but even with that, I would say no. But I can say a couple sentences here and there. But if someone started speaking French, I wouldn't have a clue what they're saying. You know, no idea. They're just rambling in French.
My oldest daughter wants to study cooking, like the college program that she's going to take. She'll be like an executive chef. It's like a 4-year like culinary degree with like a focus on
Mm-hmm.
like entrepreneurship and that type of thing. And she gets to study like a year abroad. And so she's going to go to Cyprus. So she's been trying to learn Greek.
Wow.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. She's trying.
I would get some TV. You can learn all the language you want in a book. If you don't watch some TV, you're just going on.
Yeah, she should watch some of the soap operas or something.
Just somehow get a feed, even on the internet, of Greek TV, and just start
Oh, well,
watching
see,
it. You can totally
have
learn a
access to
language if
that.
you just sat there. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You can learn a language. If you sat there for 5 years and watched a different language on TV, eventually you're going to learn it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what people do. They just go to a country and eventually learn how to speak it, right?
Yeah, immersion.
It's good.
All right. Well, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I got a double tomorrow.
Fuck you.
Wait, what?
I just said lucky
Did you see?
you. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, lucky me. But
All right.
yeah,
Well, thanks for
I
having
think
me
I
on
might hit
again.
the road. No, anytime. All right. Yeah, thanks for coming on, talking to me, and keeping me company.
Sure thing, Martha. Okay. You have a good day tomorrow then.
All right, you too. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. There we go. All right, y'all. Well, it's getting late. Love you too, Sharkticon. And I'll probably come on tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. If I'm not too tired, I'll have to work like, I think 11 hours tomorrow or something. All right, you guys. Love y'all. Y'all have a good night. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.